Hello everyone, it's JS Snow Archer here with a new series. It is World of Tanks, as the title may suggest. Sorry if I'm sounding like anyone else or any other YouTuber when I said that. I don't mean to. It's just what came to my mind. So, now I'm just going to do a quick preview of one of every class that I can get to at least, starting with the starting vehicles, the light tanks. Of course, now with the inclusion of the British tech tree, their starting tank is actually a medium tank. Now, don't be fooled, because though it is a medium tank, to my opinion, I don't really like it, though it does have a decent power to its gun. But its armor is actually less than that of the other tier 1s. Same thing that comes with the medium 2. It is still lower armor, but it has more health and a better gun. Same thing with the medium 3 with the British tech tree. But on top of that, once we get to the tier 4 heavy tech tree, or what leads to heavy tech tree for the British, is the Matilda. The Matilda is when you finally start seeing differences in the armor, and where the medium tanks actually have more armor than the light tanks. Of course, that isn't including the newer, should I say, British tank destroyers, because the Valentine AT, or Valentine anti-tank, is actually, or I would presume that it's anti-tank, but it actually has more armor than almost every tank of its tier. But don't let that fool you either, because though it does have statistic-wise more armor, you have to put in count how many slopes are on it. Because if there's just a flat surface, and if you are perpendicular to it, then you can shoot straight through it most of the time, as long as you have a high enough penetration. With that being said, there's actually quite a lot of tanks that can still shoot through it, because of its distinguishing, or not necessarily distinguishing, but it is quite rectangular with the absence of slopes. And because of the absence of slopes, it is not necessarily a tank that you should go and try playing heavy with. Now enough of the British tech tree, and enough of the medium class and tank destroyer class. More of the light tanks, specifically the PZ-1C. Now, the Panzer 1C, I'm not sure what the C stands for, but you don't have to go. Oop! I did accidentally shoot right there. I currently have this tank nearly maxed out, if not already maxed out. Now, With that being said, I have the best machine gun, should I say, or at least the most expensive. Shoots fast and has lots of ammunition in it. It is good against lower tiers, not so much against the higher tiers, or anyone that has any tank that has more armor than 30. Now, it can still penetrate tanks that have up to 40, but after it gets past 30, the penetration chance is dwindling. So, right now, I'm just scouting the perimeter. If you haven't noticed, I have been taking a few shots. Luckily, though, this is one of the fastest tanks in the game, or statistic-wise. Now, in statistics, it, as far as I know, is the fastest tank. Its top speed is said to be... Oh. Well, that was, so much for top speed, right? Well, top speed is said to be 79, but I'm not sure how true that is, because to what I've seen, it has not proven well. Now, I think World of Tanks is an excellent game to play. It's free. It won one of the joystick awards, rather. Now, because I'm running out of time here, I'll try wrapping this up more, but with a something a little bit more interesting. Either that, or I'll just pause it right here, because I can't exactly find anything. But because I was talking about the speaking of like all the armor types, there's also the heavy class. Now, the heavy class doesn't necessarily mean it's the strongest. In fact, in some cases, or at least for the early heavy tanks, the medium and light tanks actually have more armor than the heavy tanks. Especially if you're talking about the French tanks. But we will get into that later, if you guys would like. But because this is probably going to be one of my first videos, I'll most likely go ahead and post a second video until I get enough recognition to go on and to have you guys decide whether or not I should continue or start a series based upon the games that I will be playing or featuring during the beginning of my YouTubing. Now, so if you're going to be a tanker class, you want to pay close attention to the statistics. If you want to be fast, again, statistics. Now remember, statistics aren't always exactly the truth. They are just a representation of what it could be. And sometimes the statistics are actually less than what the tank is. Now, I'm not saying that the statistics are necessarily false. It's just you can't go based off it, because it also depends on your positioning to another tank, the terrain, and many other factors. So with that being said, if you want to be heavy, I'd pay close attention to that. If you're in more for damage, speed, pay more attention toward the light vehicles, or tank destroyers, or even medium tanks. But if you're more of the sniper class, well, that's what the self-propelled... Can't remember what the last one is. But this is what I'm playing. Now, keep in mind that this isn't like, boom, headshot, I can line you up. No, it is a self-propelled shot, meaning you can't just aim at your enemy and it works. It kind of has the drop, but the drop is more exaggerated than that of an actual sniper rifle. So keep that in mind if you ever decide to play a artillery unit. Now the artillery units are weak, so I wouldn't do what I was doing when I was just sitting in the open. I would try finding a good place to set up that gives you good advantage point or view out of the city and still be able to view it, or at least most streets of it. Because you see now, that red line indicates whether or not you can actually hit that area. Now the green dots will actually line up. And if they line up in an area... Now keep in mind that the longer you wait, or the longer you hold it still, the more accurate the shot's going to be. Now, it won't necessarily always be as accurate as a lot of the tanks, but as you progress, some barrels and tanks make a better accuracy than others, or damage, or fire rate. But it also depends on how well trained your crew members are for that specific tank. So there's a lot of factors that are going based in to optimize your tank. Things like speed, damage, reloads, speed, accuracy, view range, view sensitivity, rotating, driving. All these factors can be decided just from your crew members alone. Now, they aren't the only thing that can help with that. There are many other things that you can add to your tank, which are a little bit more expensive. You can also get automatic training for your crew members to have optimized crew for your tanks. Now here, I'm being a little bit of idling, but that's because I'm doing some more commentating on what this game is like. So if you like strategy and vehicle anatomy, or just blowing crap up, then I'd say that this is the game for you. Now keep in mind, you want to be wise with your money and your experience that you get in this game. Because if you do it carefully, you may get the tank you want, but other times you may just get aggravated. Now you especially want to be wise with your tank, because you only get one life per match, and then you have to spend in-game credits in order to repair the vehicle. Now it isn't as bad, but as you get on, it may get to the point where if your tank blows up, you may not get as much, you may spend more money than you make off of a match. So this was GS Archer, and I will see you later. Now I do recommend this game, so feel free, go get it on wargames.net, or specifically World of Tanks. Well, I'm not sure if it's wargames.net, but if you look up World of Tanks, I'm pretty sure you could still find it easier if you're looking specifically for this game. But they also have the beta for World of Warplanes. So I may do that if I get registered into it. And if not, oh well. But, hey, see you guys later. And remember, I do recommend this game. You should get it. If you like to blow crap up, if you like RTS, I'd say that this is pretty RTS-like. So, go buy, not buy, but get the game. It's free. Get it now.